This is Professor Mike Ventola from Sandhills Community College, bringing you Grass of the Week. Welcome to Grass of the Week number 12. We're going to talk about St. Augustine grass. This is King of the Hill. I guess the writer of King of the Hill, Hank Hill, loves his Raleigh St. Augustine grass, and we're going to talk about this grass. Pretty much a warm season grass that will not grow in the Carolinas very well. It is not cold hardy, and as we get into it, I'll explain how this is more a Florida grass than a North Carolina grass. If you look on your sheet, again, go to your book on page 13, and you'll be able to follow along as we go through the folded vernation of St. Augustine. It's going to be very folded. This will be pronounced, well, you cannot get this confused at all. The ligule is a short fringe of hairs. This again is a hairy grass, like all the warm season grasses we're going to talk about. No auricle. Stoloniferous growth habit. This is, you're going to see these stolons. They're very aggressive. This is what gives it its strength. The sheath is open, slightly hairy. The collar is not as hairy, particularly not as hairy as buffalo grass. And then the blade is blunt, very wide. This is the widest grass. This is why I think a lot of the people that move from the south prefer tall fescue is their cool season grass, because they're used to the St. Augustine grass that grows in Florida pervasively. Here's one of my favorite former students. This is Henry. Henry Davies is now superintendent at La Cita Country Club down in Florida, and this is one of the yards around his golf course that has St. Augustine grass. Pretty nice lawn here, and you know, this whole lawn is watered with effluent water. So effluent water is something that Florida has taken on seriously, La Cita Club has taken on seriously, and Henry is really doing a nice job with that grass. Here's a picture of St. Augustine grass with this wide, coarse blade. So I want you to look at that, very wide, and then when it comes out of the sheath it does a flip, and I'll show you that in the next slide, or what I call the twist. And this will be the ID. You should never miss this on an ID quiz because it's a very unique looking grass. This is the least hairy of the warm season grasses. Not really adapted to North Carolina. Again, even a cultivar, there's some cultivar in my seed outside my office called Raleigh St. Augustine, bred to be more cold tolerant. But really, we're pushing the genus when we come into the transition zone. It really won't take that long. Every 4 or 5 years we have a winter that just kills it. So I would not recommend this grass for North Carolina at all. And there's our flip. So we see is that it comes out of the sheath, does a big flip. So this is one of those stolons, and you can see each little node can start to have a root on it, but this flips, so it comes out very wide sheath that's very, very folded, and as it comes out it does a little flip, and you'll see that leaf. So that's really unique. That gives it a nice density, particularly for industrial parks and home lawns in Charleston, south of the Charleston area, and in Florida. This is the main grass. It has one negative features. It's one of the only turf grasses that gets a bacterial problem or a virus, something that's not fungal that yellows the grass, but it's pretty much the standard accepted grass for higher maintenance industrial parks where they have a contract. Somebody comes in, sprays the grass, mows the grass. It can be cut at quite a high height of cut and looks nice. It really stands the drive-by test very well. If you walk on it in your bare feet, again, you'll feel it's quite a coarse grass, and you'll feel it. You'll have to have pretty tough feet. And I do not recommend it as a rough grass either, because as you see, it does not hold the golf ball up. There's a golf ball and some St. Augustine grass down at Hilton Head Island, and it's a very difficult place to hit a golf shot from. So, short grass of the week, and eventually we'll have Henry give you some of his opinions of St. Augustine grass. The Grass of the Week music is the Sand Hills Community College Jazz Band, directed by Tim Haley.